This is the heart of the Palermo city, which is basically the central square of the city of Palermo in southern Italy, where I'm surrounded by a lot of tourists from across Europe, and they are all here basically because of the cultural heritage of this city, which has become an attraction to most tourists. And this is what the Twin Cities Sustainable Partnership Project is actually twinning with the city to make sure that it learns from the best practices over here in keeping the culture of the people, so that Ghanaians can also have something to be proud of.
Palermo municipality, which is the capital of the Sicily region of Italy, has over 3,000 years of history, making it the cultural headquarters of Italy. The city boasts of major cultural monuments and UNESCO heritage sites, including the Normanni Cathedral, the most revered Santa Rosalina, the Norman Royal Palace and the Palatine Chapel, the Giuseppe Sicilian Ethnographic Museum, among others. At the Palermo Department of Culture, the visiting Secondita Credit Delegation, led by its mayor, Abdul Mumin Issa, who were in Palermo municipality to foster exchange of good practices in sustainable and inclusive urban governance under the European Union-funded Twin Cities Sustainable Partnership Project, interacted with the Councillor of Culture and his team, where they receive assurances of support.
Like we show our history, maybe the same you have to do. Your ancient buildings, your ancient technical, something that is very specific for Ghana, that feel Ghana different in respect of other countries of the same area. We are here. If we can, we help you. So to be with you, help us to open our minds. Thank you.
The delegation were then taken on a tour of some of the historical monuments.
So these and many more of the artwork you see here is what is making Palermo City the capital, or should I say the metropolitan headquarters of Sicily in Italy, the true headquarters of art and culture when it comes to Italy. But how easy or difficult is it for the city authorities to actually keep this artwork and the history of the people of Italy?
Palermo is an unique city in Italy, because Palermo has 3,000 years of history, and to maintain this art, these buildings, this temple, these churches is very, very expensive. Is very hard work, and we spent much money, public money, but also with private helps.
The delegation then visited the mayor of Palermo, Roberto Lagala, where they discussed the outline of the Twin Cities project and exchanged gifts to solidify the relationship.
Thank you very much indeed.
Mayor of Secondita Crade, Abdul Mumin Issa, and the Twin Cities project manager, Isaac Edu, said what the delegation has seen with the cultural restoration in Italy is a wake-up call and a lesson.
I'm quite impressed. Like we have in Sekondi, we also have old cities and old buildings which we can also take advantage of our relationship, sister relationship with the city of Palermo, and also to learn from them how they were able to transform the city of Palermo into a modern Palermo, which is now attracting so many tourists from the world over. And I believe if we are able to do this in Sekondi and part of Takrade, which are old buildings like it used to be here, I believe we're also going to go a long way to create some tourism attraction in the city of Sekondi, especially the European town.
The other aspect is about the business, and we are very happy to come with the Sekendita Kwati Chamber of Commerce, having a relationship with the Chamber of Commerce of Palermo, where going forward an MOU will be established. We even have extensive discussion for us to have an exchange business exchange expo, which we are looking in the future.
The delegation also visited and interacted with officials of various educational institutions, including the Palermo University, the Academy of Arts of Palermo, the School of Cinematography, social centers, as well as skill training centers across the Palermo municipality, which resulted in some collaborations between the Palermo institutions and Takrady Technical as well as Kumasi Technical universities, who are the project partners.
Mainly when we speak about education to culture, not only in terms of theoric knowledge of culture, but also in artisan, craftsman knowledge of culture. It's very important our role to preserve the tradition of cultural education in the city.
The things we've seen here today tells us that we need to be serious. If you look at a class of 12 for a whole year, it tells you that we cannot be taking 120 people and just be producing artists for art's sake. We should produce people who are seriously taking art somewhere else. Because if you look at the students behind me, they are doing fashion and they are doing so well. I mean, I've looked at the book that they have produced. You can see a lot of things that they have done. Right on my side, they are drawing. How can you say you're going to do fashion if you cannot draw? And these are some of the things that our students, take for granted. As a fashion designer, you must be able to draw, to at least show that this is what you're going to produce.
So the things I see here is very impressive, and this goes a long way to show that planning is as old as humankind. The way we preserve our buildings, sites, alleys, and public open spaces are very vital to humankind. And this is giving us a more moral booster to make sure we catalog all the kind of planning that have happened in Ghana, pre-colonial, during the colonial period, and even now. And we should not be a deviation from going all the way formal, but we can blend a bit of informality in the way, or semi-formal in the way we approach our planning in our cities. And the involvement of academia in planning is very critical.